In this video, Christian Magoon, CEO Amplify ETFs, discussed the impact of Grayscale's options trading for Bitcoin ETFs and the surge in interest surrounding BlackRock's Bitcoin Trust options, which saw nearly 1.9 billion in trading volume the first day. He explains how this trading environment offers both institutional and retail investors opportunities to hedge or enhance their investments.
Almost $1.9 billion of trading volume notionally in IBIT ETF options was a big deal. It's a great start, and a variety of other Bitcoin ETF options began trading today, including the Bitwise ETF Trust BITB. There's a lot of interest here, and what this really allows Bitcoin investors and Bitcoin ETF investors to do is hedge their positions if they want to, or potentially magnify the upside of their positions through using regulated options on the ETFs that hold these physical Bitcoin. So a great way to really institutionalize Bitcoin ETF trades, both bull and bear, for investors of all types, whether it's institutions or retail investors. So I think this is a good thing overall for Bitcoin adoption as well as Bitcoin ETFs.
What's the decision tree? Like when do you decide, when should you kind of qualify whether or not you should just be holding crypto or holding Bitcoin versus holding Bitcoin ETFs versus trading options on Bitcoin ETFs?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it starts with, where is the assets that you have? So, for example, if you're in a traditional brokerage, or a retirement account, you're going to be looking for a regulated way to own these, which would likely be the Bitcoin ETFs. And then from there, depending on your qualification, you may or may not be able to buy options. That there's a certain gating process to that. For traditional OG Bitcoin investors, they're certainly using platforms like Coinbase and maybe bringing their Bitcoin on cold storage. However, they may want to hedge that exposure or may want to magnify that exposure through a regulated market like the Bitcoin ETF option market. So I think it all depends on where your money's at and what your perspective is in terms of how much you trust different forms of market, from self-custody to going to just a Bitcoin or a crypto-only platform, or to regulated exchanges in the form of Bitcoin ETFs.